election administrator for the 2020 selection for the neighborhood council, which, because Chatsworth elects half of its board every year, they have staggered terms. They're the only neighborhood council in the valley, at least, and for most of the 99 neighborhood councils have elections every 2 years. So Chatsworth, being special, does this every year. And because it's not on the regular election cycle, it's called a selection, but it basically, by all aspects, looks like an election. And for some of you, you may be happy to know that the ballots will actually be old-fashioned ballots that you actually mark and put into a ballot box. And for those of you who had to wait at Mason Park, hopefully, if there's any wait, it's only a few minutes. And so that's going to be happening on Saturday, March 21st from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hopefully at your seat you got one of these flyers that has all the details on it. And on the back side it has the documentation requirements. So it's pretty simple for most people. You just show a valid government issued photo ID. And if the street address matches your Chatsworth street address within the boundaries of the neighborhood council, you're good to go. If for some reason your photo ID doesn't, maybe if it has a P.O. box or has a different address, then you need a second item of documentation that does have a Chatsworth address, and those are all listed on this flyer. The flyer also does indicate that the election is open to anyone who's 18 years of age or older, and lives, works, owns property, boards a horse, or is a community interest stakeholder, has substantial and ongoing involvement in a variety of different organizations, such as religious, nonprofit, educational, etc. in the community. We do have a number of these organizations that provide us a list of their current membership list to expedite things at the polling place for check-in. So if you're involved with their organization, and we certainly would encourage the members of that organization to be voting, is if they could turn in their roster just for the use that day, that will help expedite that process for those folks who don't live in Chatsworth or don't have a photo ID that indicates that. So also on this flyer, on the third paragraph, it does list the names of the candidates, and they are in ballot order. And so when we first start the opening statements, in a minute or so, they will be in the order in which the names will appear in the ballot. This was a random drawing done at the selection committee, which was a public meeting held at the train depot. We do this every year. So that's the names called out of the hat. Before I call up the candidates, I just want to give an opportunity for one of the candidates to make an announcement.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Weintraub, Matthew Weintraub. I've been a member of the Neighborhood Council for the past 8 years, and I was helped along with Jesse Fuller to start the Colt Bike Rally that happens every year. It's one of our signature events. I appreciate all the support that you've all given me and Jesse over the years in the council, due to the fact that I'm grandfathered twice over, and I got more things I need to deal with at home. I am respectfully dropping out of this race. So thank you very much for all your support.
And Matt, who are you going to endorse?
All right, thank you, Matt, for letting everyone know. So that takes us down to 21 candidates. So with that, and I apologize in advance if I do not accurately pronounce the names. I'll call them up and we'll get started with the candidate forum. Before I do that, though, Vicki, did you want to say anything on the selection? Okay.
We want to discuss that this is informational, it's not a rally.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Yes, I was supposed to say that. So this is an opportunity for the community to be introduced to the candidates who are running for the 11 open seats of the Chatsworth Neighborhood Council. It is a candidates forum. The candidates will have an opportunity to give an opening presentation, opening comments, to introduce themselves, and then there'll be opportunity for questions that will be asked of all candidates. This is not a political rally. We need to agree to disagree. So we would ask, and also in terms of time, that there not be any audio noises, except for maybe at the very end, where you can applaud for everyone for participating in the process. But you know, let's just be respectful of everyone's point of view, even if you don't agree with it, and you know, save your applause until the end of the session. Was that everything you want to say? Okay, one last thing. So the operation of the polling place for 6 hours at the train depot on the 21st is staffed by volunteers from the community. So we do want to offer that for everyone here who is not a candidate or not directly related to a candidate to participate in volunteering at the polling place. So see me afterwards if you're interested in that. And then even after the polling place closes, there's an opportunity for volunteering because we count the ballots. Again, the old-fashioned way, but we will have our results quicker than the state of California has its election. Okay, so with that, so this is the random.
So, we've gone much quicker than I anticipated. It was written on the agenda that it would start at approximately 6:45. So can we interrupt and we'll do a little stretch? And I have stuff I can fill in with
Okay,
that's
go ahead.
appropriate.
That is good.